Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. My name is Joseph James. Here's our live stream recap brought to you by schooloftrade.com, sidewaysmarkets.com. Happy Friday to you. November 5th, 2010, end of the first week of November. We're getting closer and closer to that Thanksgiving Day holiday, one of my favorite holidays, guys. Boy, I'm a big fan of Halloween. I love Thanksgiving. Maybe because it's all that candy and all that good food, right? I'm going to go burn those calories off here in the trade room with you guys on Monday morning. All right, how do we do today? Pretty good day today, right? One of our biggest days of the year today. Before we talk about the trades we took today, I want to remind you guys about we had beginners training this morning. Today was a Friday morning, so of course Friday morning we had non-farm payrolls this morning. We also had a beginners training at 11 o'clock. I recorded that beginners training. I'm going to post that beginners training on my blog under the beginners corner on the blog. So right above me right now, right above me on Monday morning, you're going to see the video posted from this Friday's beginners training. Will be right above me under beginners corner. All right, so get to know the blog. You've got live support, right? You've got the YouTube page, Facebook, and you can also follow the blog and sign up for our newsletter. Don't forget also, guys, up top, beginners corner, trade room resources, webinars, lots of great stuff above me here, guys. Get to know this blog, guys. Lots of good stuff. All right, let's keep moving. As you guys can see here, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 total trades. Now I marked up a couple there with gold. We had a slingshot pattern. If you guys are familiar with that term, in the advanced course, you'll see the term slingshot pattern. Now a slingshot pattern is a wave pattern on a 13 range or 21 range and a two-step pattern on a 4 or an 8 range. And what I did was I sold short with a two-step pattern and then got right into a long trade, took my profit from the short, got the long trade for the wave pattern long, and that happened there at 9:45 on gold. So you can see we pretty much stayed right on gold all day today, over 300 ticks. Biggest trade of the day at 10 o'clock on gold had that wave pattern. I think everybody in the room grabbed that trade at 10 o'clock on gold. But for the most part, though, we just saw the gold test the lows, and we were buying those lows all morning here. You can see nothing but long, 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 long. Right? Only one short trade at 9:45, and that was just because we had that two-step short, right, coming back down into a wave pattern long. All right, guys, so pretty easy day. We'll take a look at here in a second, but you can see 302 ticks, right, over $3,000. Now, this was our biggest day 6 months ago, but we actually had a $3,300 winner in October. So you can see we had a really big week, $9,000 this week, guys. So you're going to spend $4,000, right, on margin, and you made $9,000 this week. So it cost me $4,000 to trade like this, and I make $9,000 because of it. Boy, that's a pretty good return, right? Excellent week. And it really wasn't the easiest week I've ever seen. We had FOMC day on Wednesday, right? Fed meeting on Wednesday. We had the election on Tuesday. And then yesterday was that recovery day where the markets weren't doing anything. So this wasn't the easiest week we've seen, guys, and we've managed to put together a pretty remarkable result. And again, you can see here, it doesn't look too good when you compare it to last October, this October, right? October, biggest month of the year, 9,000 the first week in November, 10,000 the first week in October, right? So we're having a pretty good beginning of the month. All right, guys? Monthly total, $9,000, yearly total, $193,000, guys. I'm aiming for that $200K for the year. That's my goal right now. So what happened today? We had non-farm payrolls at 8:30. Now, guys, like I said yesterday, and like I said in the announcement this morning, right, non-farm payrolls, 8:30, you've got to be expecting this market to be moving. All right, gold tested new lows. We wanted to then buy those lows. All right, we bought those lows 10 times, right, buying them all the way up. And it was amazing because we kept buying the gold all the way up, and then conveniently, we get this divergence indicator that signals on my 21 range chart that the move is over, so we stop buying and the price then tumbles back down, right? If you were with us this morning, you saw it on the 13 and the 21, right? We got divergence at the lows in the 13. We bought those lows, brought gold all the way up, and then like it was meant to be, we saw divergence fire off on the 21 range. Speed slows down, momentum curls over on my slower time frames, so we stop buying gold at about 10:45, and then all of a sudden gold tumbles back over. So we took every inch out of gold today, and it really was not that difficult, right? All the trades were winners. They were all pretty easy. We'll talk about those in a second. Now, crude was a completely different story, right? Crude didn't go anywhere today. Chopped around inside that sideways range, and when it broke the bottom of that range, we bought the break back in. So in other words, we bought the failure on the crude wedge. So crude tried to break out the downside. It failed. We bought the failure going back up. Then back at the highs, I then sold the highs, come back down, right? So it was really a kind of a perfect scenario to the day. All the patterns lined up wonderfully. Buying those lows, taking the profit at the highs, right? Reversing your position, getting short like we've done crude here, guys, and then bringing it right back down. All right, huge day, huge week, and of course, another great example of just how powerful our methods really are. And don't forget, I'm going to train you guys on all of this stuff, all right? If you were here today as a guest, I know it moved pretty quickly at 8:30. Non-farm payrolls never let me down for that. So if you guys came in for the first time today, or if this was your first week with us as part of a trial guest, keep in mind, right, it was real fast early this morning. We had some choppy days Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So this has been a challenging week. And remember, if you were a guest this week, I'm going to be here on the phone, on email, on Skype to answer all your questions. And as a member, you'll get all the charts, the data, the indicators, all the training you need to know how to take these trades, when to take them, and of course, most importantly, when to do nothing at all. All right, guys, so I look forward to training each and every one of our guests as members. And guys, don't forget, we got lots of new stuff coming out next week. I'll talk more about that here at the end of this video. Now, here's my dollar. The dollar actually gave us kind of a mixed signal this morning, right? Here's my dollar. Now, what do you see here? I see here's my trading range of the dollar today, right? Here's my range from yesterday, and then here's my range from Fed day way up here. Okay, so what do we see here? We see we are still inside of what we call an inside day, right? We have not broken the highs. We haven't broken the lows. Okay, so here we are. We are inside the trading range from yesterday. Now, that wasn't the only big concern, right? Because being an inside day, and guys, it doesn't need to be just the dollar, right? Pretty much any time you have a market trading inside the range from yesterday, you want to be more cautious. The dollar just happens to be the king of all correlated markets, right? It's the only fundamental correlation. And so an inside day means the rest of the markets are probably also going to be chopping around sideways inside as well. So we see the inside day here on the dollar. That told us, be careful, but we also knew that we had 8:30 news coming out, and usually that non-farm payroll number 8:30 usually does a pretty good job at shaking things up a little bit. Okay, so the first clue we saw was an inside day. We also checked my ATR, my average true range. And guys, if you go to the blog right now, on the blog right now, if you look at the blog, type in the search box average true range, you'll see all the videos we've done on average true range. But the ATR was one of the lowest we'd seen in a week. Now again, this was before the 8:30 news. So the initial look we get is we have an inside day, the lowest ATR we had in weeks. So this basically told us, well, right, we may be waiting a little bit here. Now again, remember, at this time, it was before the news. We knew 8:30 news, the non-farm payrolls, would quickly shake this market up. All right, but this is where we started this morning. Okay, always helps to find the dollar first. Are we inside or are we outside? Is the average true range rising or is it falling? Right, are we trending or are we sideways? All right, guys. Now we did the most damage today, guys, on the gold. All right, the most damage this morning on the gold. We made a killing on gold today, and I think you guys will agree it was one of our best days on gold today. Now you can see here. Here's my wedge, right? Now this, of course, would be a bear flag, right? A bear wedge, a bearish wedge, meaning a downward sloping wedge. And as you can imagine, we're going to look to try to break out here below 73.7. Well, what happened was we had the gold that broke out the downside here, but then we saw a divergence at these lows. So rather than selling with that divergence indicator, of course, and you guys will get the indicator with membership, okay, the divergence indicator fires off. It tells me, hey, we may not want to be going short here right now. So of course we decided to buy the failure. Again, what's that called again? It's called buying the failure.